Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Garden Yard Reviews once again. This is the Aliens Trident Comics again I'll be reviewing. This is issue 14 of March of 1992. Valued at £1.95 in the then Queen's money, now the King's money in the UK. I've rebought all these and I've done all the reviews of these so far up to now, and I'll be doing right up to 17. So, usual in space, no one can hear you scream, James Cameron style. This was all pretty much based on the James Cameron style of Aliens. There's lots of references to the original Alien in here and the Ridley Scott style of Alien. The Stromo's mentioned a few times, stuff like that, original bits and bobs. So where was we at on the last episode? So in the last episode, we did the review. I went to the new sort of stories that had just come in. Genocide just started, Aliens Genocide. It was a continuation of Predator Big Game. A new Aliens versus Predator story had started, where the hunters had returned to Raishi, and Aliens Book 1, which was the prequel of the start of these comics. So at the start of these comics we had the aliens leading into the Earth War, didn't we? Which was pretty cool. So yeah, as we've discussed already, the art had changed quite a bit in these magazines over time. I don't know if that was to do with money or financing, but I think it was up to about episode 8 where it started to change. But yeah, again, I'm not an artist, and I don't really criticise art because, like I say, it's not mine to criticise, but I just feel the art in the earlier editions was better. So, but that's only my opinion. So there you go. You could buy the Predator kit here from Trident. If you've got the Predator Collector's Mask and the gauntlets and hands, very cool. You've got an actual Predator head there, which is brilliant, and a whole costume for a complete child's costume. Now imagine turning up at your Halloween party dressed like that, guys. How great would you be? So let's have a look at the prices they would have been. So the Predator Collector's Mask at this time was £2.30. So I'd be willing to say in this day and age, what would that be? £600 now, most probably. Yeah, the standard mask was 62 quid back then. So that, you know, and what annoys me about reading stuff like this is this stuff now in this day and age with some wages and stuff, them prices there are actually quite reasonable. But back then they would have been unreasonable, heavily unreasonable. So yeah, I mean, £220 for a collector's mask back then would have been well out of the average worker's range. So yeah, just shows you how prices have changed and things have differed over the years, you know. So there we have the contents page as usual, which is the 4 powerful thrillers featured in this month's episode. Grant has a rude awakening in part 2 of Genocide. Enoch goes head to head with the enraged Predator in the final part of Big Game. We continue our serialisation of the original Aliens comic saga, and we present a brand new dynamic short story and epilogue to the very popular Aliens vs Predator series that finished in issue 11. Crucial stories, vital reading. Based on characters and situations from the 20th Century Fox motion pictures. So there you go, you've got your Aliens Genocide, you've got your Predator Big Game, Aliens vs Predator, and Aliens Book 1. So there you go. So let's start out with some cool art of Genocide. So despite the horrors inflicted on the human race during the aliens overrunning the Earth, some people can't seem to leave the alien alone. Driven by greed, opportunism and ambition, a joint military commercial expedition is on its way to the alien homeworld. There, unbeknownst to the humans, a catastrophic civil war is underway. So we discussed this last time, didn't we, about Genocide? So it was the humans once again tampering with the alien's royal jelly, creating a super soldier serum. In true aliens fashion, we just can't leave it alone, can we? We didn't learn our lessons from losing the Earth, and we're on this now where, again, greedy corporations are now trying to still utilise these leftover bits and bobs of aliens that are still on the Earth for experimentation, which has proved time and time again only leads to disaster. But then there wouldn't be a story if this didn't happen, would it? So yep, so we've got some cool art there. Very good. Looks like a dream of some sort going on there, which is good. Very good art. Holographic training alien, look. Very good. So these are the Marines, and they're going on a mission to try to get more alien, believe it or not, from the alien homeworld to, again, take to Earth to create this Xenozip, which is the drug which is being used from the alien's royal jelly to create super soldiers. But at the moment it's in the experimental stages, and it's having very detrimental effects on the soldiers, i.e. they're killing everyone and then killing themselves, and they can't control it again, as usual. You know, it's same old story, isn't it? They can't control it. So they're talking about targeting of the egg sacs on the alien homeworld, but they're unaware that the genocide is going on the alien homeworld, which we discussed in the last episode, wasn't it? Where you've got the red Xenos versus the black Xenos now, like a different species of Xeno. And when we last looked, they were overrunning the black Xeno, the original Xenos from the original alien, which was something to see. So yeah. So these soldiers are being, as usual, used to go to the homeworld and retrieve a sample. And they're not too happy about tampering. They're starting to realise that following orders is what led to all this stuff in the first place. They talk about a new suit that they've designed, which is more protection against the Xeno's acid, because really the only protection from Xeno acid is the Xeno's shell itself, isn't it? It doesn't burn its outside, does it, on the shelf? Which we see in the AVP movie, don't we? When Scar shows Alexa Woods that the Xeno's own self can offer some protection from the acid. Because even the predators themselves don't seem to have devised something to protect them much from the acid, does it? So, which was very very cool in the original AVP. I'll do the usual, guys. I'll be running some pictures throughout, so you'll see closer to what I'm talking about. Sometimes at this angle it's not that easy to see what's going on. So there you go. There's some experimentation going on there, where they're working on the genetics again of the xenomorph and stuff like that. Playing around again, guys. You know what it's like, human race. We play around with stupid stuff that we're not meant to tamper with, and as usual we create all sorts of nonsense, don't we? There it is, look, again. And one of the soldiers, the leaders of the soldiers now, is rowing with their leadership, saying, what, you're actually breeding these things, what do you think you're playing at? So there you go. So there you see some sort of genetic birth of a xenomorph. And the corporal is sort of saying, the major is sort of saying, what's going on here? What are you guys doing? You know. And there's the Xenozip, the tablets that the soldiers are taking to make them into super soldiers. But they have these violent bouts of rage, which you saw in the last episode, didn't we? Which are pretty much uncontrolled. And there's one there, look. See, they've just made a few comments at him, and he's absolutely raging. It's like an extreme form of roid rage, isn't it? But very cool, there you go. So there you have it. So that Xeno zip is what's causing all these soldiers to go crazy at the moment. It's pretty cool read up so far. So there you go, you've got 8 aliens latex masks there, chest and hands. See, again, it's very expensive for the time, isn't it? So alien collector's mask was £270 in UK money back at this date. So, you know, it wouldn't be available now, but hands was 70 quid, chest was 65 and feet was 55. So a lot of money to get yourself a life-size alien. But imagine having a life-size alien, guys. An original sort of suit, similar to what, you know, the guy wore in the movie of Alien. I always thought that was a puppet when I was like younger, but to learn there was actually a person inside it, you know, very cool, very cool. So this is the last part of Predator Big Game. So in the last episode, we'd seen that the Predator had, so all through the story, the Predator's landed, he started his hunt, he's got his ship captured, which he self-destructed and destroyed the entire army base. He's now been hunting locals, more resources have been brought in from the military to hunt it, but he keeps killing them all. Corporal Nakai, he's trying to hunt it down. He's realising that it's a two of them situation. It's in the New Mexico desert, as we've already covered, which is pretty cool. But last we saw, the Predator got heavily injured by Nakai. So he's lost some of his equipment now. I think he's still got the shoulder cannon. Not 100% sure, but he's very, very wounded, very damaged. And Nakai was last seen to go off hunting him into the New Mexico desert. So there you go. So there's the destroyed jeeps, and there's Nakai on the mountaintop looking for him. He's armed himself with an old school M60. Seeing those used in Vietnam and stuff like that, weren't they? And belt-fed firearm. And Nakai, no more excuses. And in his mind, he's chasing a Navajo myth. Now, what is very cool is in this story of Big Game, the actual book, there's references to his dead brother, who is doing narrative from beyond the grave, sort of thing, talking about the evil spirit and how his brother's going to be the one in a prophecy. So it's all about, lots of it about prophecy and Native American history and stuff like that, and it's pretty good. There's a sunrise, and the vultures are in there. He's looking at the vultures in the air. Now, we all know what vultures means, don't we? So yeah, he's following their trails and the tracks. Some very good art there, guys. Look at that. I'll do some close-ups of these as we go along. So he's hunting it there. He's fell down a little hole when he's on his hunt. He's slipped down a hole, but he's managed not to fall to the bottom, and that's given him an idea that if he could bring the hunter up there, perhaps he could drop the hunter down that ravine. So he's looking now at this point with the binoculars, and he sees the vultures circling. Now, vultures only circle, we know, don't we, when there's something dead or dying. They're literally scavengers, aren't they? They hover around the dying, don't they, let alone the dead. So there you go, and he sees, through his binoculars, the hand of the Predator in a pile of mess. So he's now making his way towards where the hunter is, because you can see the Yautja there, the Predator. He's heavily injured there, trying to recover. And the old vultures are giving him no time. They're looking at moving in already, you know, which is typical. So there's the general colonel, whatever he is, a lieutenant. He's mounting up his forces to go in after the creature and hunt it down. So they're moving out. They're heading towards tracking it. or trying to get it. Very cool art here, guys. I really do love the art in some of these. So now Nakai in this section here is moving up on the Predator, but the Predator has set some traps and it's pierced his arm, took him down, and the Predator, so the Predator, even when he's resting, is like a proper, he's set up traps because he knows when he's resting, he doesn't want anything sneaking up on him, does he? Especially now a lot of his devices are broken. I don't think he's got invisibility anymore. He's got the soldiers, I think one of the soldiers shot through his wrist gauntlet or something in one of the earlier episodes. So there you go, the trap is set and the Predator pounces. But Nakai obviously manages to get off a lot of rounds with the old 60 and he's putting them out there, which makes the Predator jump about and jump out of sight. And then it jumps him. And in movies fashion, like you see in Predator 2, don't you, when he breaks that mini shotgun that Harrigan has, Danny Glover's character. He bangs it on the floor, doesn't it? Smashes it. He does the same with the 60, smashes it. So extremely strong creatures anyway. And Nakai then runs and heads for the trap spot. But he realises while he's running as well, that the Predator is so injured it can't greatly run after him. It's wheezing and puffing, so it's injured badly, which is cool. And it's going into the, he's tracking it now with the binoculars as it's following, kind of thing. And there's the good art there, guys. I like these old 80s style, the 80s style look of people, you know, with the big muscles and the, you know, the 80s was all full of energy, wasn't it? The 80s, early 90s was all full of, everything was big and muscular, wasn't it? You had WWF and WWE and Bodybuilding Federation, didn't you? And World Bodybuilding, WBF, and all that stuff. When it, so everyone was into looking like tanks, weren't they? Back in those back in that time, it was considered to be, you know, you was a bit out of touch if you didn't, you know, pack a bit of muscle on. So these comics are sort of all based on that sort of era, and very, very, very good. So there you go, there's the hole. He's trying to lead him up there to chase him down. And then he realises that the Predator's cannon, shoulder cannon, is still working because the Predator is blasting up with the cannon, chasing him up the mountain basically. And there you can see he's boom. And he's beckoning him on there to come and get him, which is very cool. So there you have the Predator jumping out on him again, and he falls down the hole in the mountain. Kai traps him, but the problem is, it being a Predator, he's hanging on, and he grabs hold of Nakai and tries to pull him with him. But you can see how wounded it is. Look at all the green blood. If it bleeds, we can kill it. And there's the it sprung out the blades, pretty much like this section of the comics or story of Big Game is very similar to Prey, the movie Prey. It's got a lot of aspects of that in it. It's got a lot of aspects of Billy in Predator as well, in the original Predator as well. All the tracking stuff and the legends and stuff like that. Very cool. And there you hear the bangs on the mountain where he's reaching for the handgun, and that's the last thing you sort of see there. The Predator's looming over him with the blades ready, you know, ready to get him sort of thing with a gauntlet. And you see the soldiers here, they're coming after the sound, they can hear it. And then you see the eyes of the Predator, but it comes from Nakai holding the Predator's head in glory. And that is a very similar ending to Prey, isn't it? Which is very cool ending. And that's the end of the story, you see. And he's telling the general to go ahead and ask him why he's done all these things he's done. But it's just the head there. Whereas in the Prey movie, she's talking about the settlers, isn't she? The people that are there are going to start taking their land away and destroying their way of life. So that was why in the end that's a move in Prey, wasn't it? The Prey movie. But yeah, very cool. And again, there's that 80s sort of muscular look. The size of his leg there, look, it's like WBF bodybuilder on the leg. But brilliant, yeah. So it then moves back into the Aliens versus Predator story. Now, tough, resourceful, brave Machiko survived the Alien Predator conflict and destroyed the colony of Prosperity Wells on the farming planet of Raishi, and fighting alongside the courageous, sympathetic Predator warrior Broken Tusk, managed to take and vanquish the alien queen. Machiko had proved herself to be as capable a warrior as the Predators themselves. Broken Tusk, mortally wounded in the fight, awarded Machiko the honorary tribal mark of the Predators shortly after he died. 2 years have passed and Machiko has lived alone on Raishi, waiting for the hunt to begin, because she knew they were going to come back, didn't she? So, a new series of Aliens versus Predator. This one I think is based on Hunter's Planet, I think it is, something like that. There's a book of this one as well. I read the book of Prey because I liked the book of Prey. Not Prey as in the movie, but the actual Predator book was really cool. So this starts on Raishi again, and this is Machiko Noguchi's shack on the planet now, because the colony's all gone. It's all left. It's abandoned the planet, but she stayed behind because she knew that at some point the Yautja, or the hunters, predators, whatever you know them as, will return. So there she is in the shack. That's her there. She's got a little dog, and she sees the drop-in of the cylinders, or the little tiny crafts that the predators arrive in. She's using a Geiger counter, because the predator ships in these comics historically have emitted small amounts of radiation, haven't they? So there we go. So she's cutting her hair off. She's getting ready to go, ready to do battle. Good picture there with the Queen. And there she has one of Broken Tusk's wrist blades. So she's seen the eggs arriving in a predator vessel, like the same one that was used before to bring the eggs to the planet, and the Rhinoff. And she sent her own Rhinoff off because she doesn't want it to get infected. And then she's sat by, waiting for the predators to arrive. And there they are, they're on the planet now. And there they've arrived on the planet. And they've run straight into her. She's already killed an alien. And they're sort of all looking at her puzzled, thinking, what is she? Is she going to be a prey? Are we fighting her? And then they see the mark, which we saw in the AVP movie, which was very cool, isn't it? It's that Thunderbolt type thing on the head. I mean, in the movie it's on the cheek, isn't it? I think the cheek looked better, to be fair, but in the comics it's on the head. So there she is there, and she's fighting with the Yautja. And this is where she actually becomes part of the clan. It's very cool. So we catch up with that in the next review. So this one here again is you could buy the graphic novels of the whole thing, the whole comic series, all in graphic novels. And at that time it was $7.99 for the graphic novel Earth War, which is cool. And the Aliens versus Predator, and you could like send off these little things, and people used to send these actually with money in them back then, and checks. You know, it's mad. It's mad that you could, well, at one point you could put money in the mail. I suspect it's probably getting stolen all the time, but there you go, never mind. I'm just a suspicious person. And then you've got Aliens Book 1 by Mark Verheiden. So 10 years after the LV-426 incident, Corporal Hicks is contacted by the military Special Projects Department to help them with a new problem. In the beginning, Hicks explains the circumstances that gave him the expert knowledge. And with that, I'm going to have a sip of water, so I'm getting dry. There you go, little sip of water. Right, so there you go. It's Hicks is having a debrief in this. So this is the old LV426 Aliens. Very good art, guys. There's an APC and the comic versions of the troops on the Acheron mission, because that was what was called Acheron, wasn't it? So colonists were dead, as Hicks is explaining, and then they found the colony transmitters, didn't they, which led them to the reactor area, where obviously they built their nest, haven't they? Because they're clever, they build it in areas they know are dangerous to weapons, don't they? I don't know how they have that knowledge, but they do. So he's explaining the mission to them. There's a good bit of art there of Hicks and Ripley when Hicks gets the acid on him, doesn't he? And that's what burns his face, explaining how he got them wounds. Obviously in the movies, Alien 3, this doesn't happen, does it? But I wished this had happened, I would say. So there you go. So there's Hicks. He's injured with Ripley. Differences with the comics and stuff, like he's got the helmet on there, hasn't he? Whereas in the comics he didn't have that, did he? It was in a lift. You can't really see a lift there, but in the film that's when it happens, doesn't it? And that's him getting treatment there, obviously, for what's happened to him. So he's obviously they're saying he's turned to drink after the incident, and gets himself into a bit of bother with the aliens. And he's now, the company are now talking to him about him getting redemption by collecting specimens. And then it moves on to Newt, because Newt's captured as well, and this is Newt's dreams. So basically, as I've explained in previous editions, Hicks and Newt and Ripley get intercepted at the end of Aliens in the comic books. And the company basically holds Ripley to ransom with Newt and Hicks, so that she goes back to LV426 to get their specimen. But at the same time, they're secretly plotting to use these guys to get a specimen as well. So yeah, they're very unscrupulous when it comes to specimens. So there's Newt and Hicks, and they're talking about the alien homeworld and him going back. And this is where it leads up eventually into the General Spears episodes. So the civilian advisor to the colonial marines, Woodslaw Orona, and that was what they were looking for in the end, wasn't it, of Earth War, the Orona bomb? Because that was what eventually destroyed them, didn't it? So there's a bit there about the aliens' homeworld, the Queen, and obviously life forms from other planets who have also become infected by xenomorphs, which is very, very cool. So there you go. So this is other planets with aliens, other life forms basically, which you don't really hear about much, do you, in the comics? Coming to the end here, guys. I'm struggling to get all the pages. Right. So there you have a creature. Looks like some sort of bounty hunter or something. That looks crazy, doesn't it? Look at that one there. What is that? Attacking the Xenos. The bodies of the dead will be used to reinforce the walls of the hive. The cycle would continue. The ecosystem would survive. That's pretty cool. Some would live, some would die, and the alien herd will be kept in check. So this looks like some sort of alien bounty hunter, doesn't it? We can only guess how this might have happened. Perhaps it was millions of years ago, perhaps only decades of their life cycle, I guess. So there you go. So there's a creature that's been infected. And then this goes back. So that's going back in time. And this is going back somehow. So this is Nostromo here. So they're talking about the Nostromo and how the Nostromo crew originally found the Xenomorph. Man has never been completely comfortable in space. Even with our ships and atmosphere, suits and weapons, we are intruders. Cool. A hostile environment, ample quarry that aliens must have felt totally at home. So there you go, guys. So that's pretty cool. It's a build up to the original Aliens first comic of the story of General Spears and how the Earth got overrun and stuff like that. So it's obviously going to lead up to that, which is good. Predator cuts loose. If you've enjoyed the power-packed exploits of the Predator in Aliens magazine, you'll love the new Predator comic. Brilliant. I think that might cover Cold War, but I'm not 100% sure. I do like Predator Cold War. I covered that in the actual book version, so check that out, guys. So that's the end of the comic. So there you go, and that end of another review. Star Trek on the back cover. Look at that. What's your thoughts on Star Trek, guys? I love the original Star Trek. See, I love Deep Space Nine. I really like Deep Space. I like the battle stuff. See, I think the battle stuff is brilliant. A lot of people like the old Picard sort of talking stuff. That's not for me, really. I prefer Captain Kirk. You know what I mean? Shoot first, ask questions later. He's more of that sort of guy, isn't he? You know, goes around the universe, chatting up the girls and blowing up ships. What guy? Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I liked the like I say, the motion picture wasn't great for me. Wrath of Khan was fantastic. I love Wrath of Khan. The battle scenes in Wrath of Khan, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and lead only from there, like, you know, Search for Spock and The Voyage Home, and they were all good, those ones, up until I think it was like Undiscovered Country, wasn't it? It was really good as well. And yeah, and then they moved on, didn't they? I didn't think they did any more after that, if I remember rightly. They moved into sort of Next Generation sort of movies, which were good. I liked the Borg one. But yeah, Next Generation wasn't my favourite, but I did like Deep Space Nine, and quite like Voyager as well to a degree, especially the Borg battle scenes. So, going off topic now, anyway, we're going to Star Trek review. So, this is Aliens, issue 14 of March of 1992. What was you doing in 1992? If you were old enough, was you even born in 1992? 195, it had gone up from £1.50, that was a big jump. Yeah, not good. But yeah, not suitable for children, as per usual, all these reviews. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay frosty, and I will see you on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.